Welcome to Legacy English. Today, we will take you on a journey through history, a journey filled with hardships and challenges to learn about one of the greatest leaders in the history of Algeria and the Arab world, Emir Abdelkader. He is the man who struck fear into the heart of French colonization and was given many titles. He was one of the prominent military leaders of the modern era. But his success was not only in military battles, it was also in his wisdom, leadership, and sacrifices for his country. Through this inspiring story, not only will you learn about one of the greatest leaders in Algerian history, but you will also be able to improve your English skills by listening to this wonderful story. Let's begin. Emir Abdelkader was born on September 6, 1808, in the Algerian city of Mascara. This city was rich in history and traditions, and was one of the most important scientific and cultural centers in Algeria at the time. Abdelkader was born into a family with a prominent status in society, as his father, Sheikh Mohammed bin Mustafa, was one of the leading scholars in Algeria, and was known for his piety and dedication to educating his son. From a young age, Abdelkader began learning the Quran and religious sciences under the supervision of his father and some local religious scholars. However, his education was not limited to religious studies. He also learned military arts, philosophy, and history. This combination of academic and military education made Abdelkader a unique figure in his environment. His family saw him as an exceptional individual, and they expected a great future for him, which turned out to be accurate. In 1830, France began its military campaign against Algeria with a clear goal: to occupy the country and impose its control over it. Algeria was under Ottoman rule, but was a sovereign state with a long history of resistance, and the Algerian people strongly rejected any attempt to occupy their land. Initially, Emir Abdelkader was young and closely monitored the political situation in Algeria. However, he felt decisively that it was time to stand by his country. In 1832, with the intensifying attacks by French forces on the country, Abdelkader decided to take a historic step. At that time, he was still in his early 20s, but he took it upon himself to lead the jihad against French occupation. In 1832, after being elected by the Algerian tribal leaders as Emir of Algeria, Abdelkader became the leader of the Algerian resistance. Despite his youth, he proved to be an exceptional leader. He combined military strength with political wisdom, enabling his forces to successfully organize numerous attacks against the French in several battles. One of his most notable battles against the French army was the Battle of Melala in 1835. In this battle, Emir Abdelkader employed a new tactical approach to warfare, including the use of caravans and ambushes on the ground, which helped him defeat the French. The French general, Clausel, who led the campaign, believed the battle would be easy, but he was surprised by the strength and skill of the Algerian army. After Abdelkader's victory in Melala, he began to build an independent Algerian government in the areas under his control. Abdelkader was not only fighting to defend the land, but he was also striving to build a sovereign, strong, and united Algerian state. He established an army of mujahideen and trained them in various arts of war. He also respected human and religious values in his policies, placing significant importance on social justice and protecting civilians, even during wartime. In 1839, the French army intensified its attacks against the Algerian resistance. Emir Abdelkader faced significant challenges, as France had sent massive forces to Algeria to occupy the country. Despite Algeria being under a complete siege, Emir Abdelkader continued to lead the resistance with strength. In 1843, the French launched a large-scale war against Emir Abdelkader and managed to take control of some Algerian cities. However, despite this, Emir Abdelkader continued to fiercely fight the French forces across various regions of Algeria. During this time, he constantly adapted his military strategies to face the superior French forces, and he managed to form a network of alliances with some Algerian and Arab tribes across North Africa. In 1847, after years of heroic resistance, Emir Abdelkader decided to surrender to the French, having come to the conclusion that he could no longer continue the fight effectively under the current circumstances. This decision was not easy for him, as he knew it would bring immense pressure, but he preferred to avoid shedding more blood and destroying more property. When Emir Abdelkader surrendered, there were negotiations with the French on how to end the conflict peacefully. He believed that surrendering might contribute to avoiding further massacres. However, he faced numerous challenges in the years that followed. In 1852, after international pressure, Emir Abdelkader was released and exiled to the Syrian city of Damascus. In Damascus, he continued his religious and social life, becoming a prominent figure in the Islamic community. He did not live apart from the issues of the Muslim world, but actively participated in various religious and educational activities, having a significant impact on the community in Damascus. In Damascus, Emir Abdelkader lived relatively peacefully after years of resistance and conflict, but he never stopped offering wise counsel to the Muslim community. He became a symbol of reconciliation between different sects and defended the rights of the oppressed. On May 26, 1883, Emir Abdelkader passed away in Damascus at the age of 75, leaving behind a great legacy of struggle and sacrifice for his country. Despite the passing of time, his name continues to resonate in the hearts of Algerians and Arabs everywhere. In Algeria, Emir Abdelkader is regarded as a symbol of freedom and resistance against colonization, and he is still celebrated across the Arab world as one of the greatest leaders in our history. And so, the story of Emir Abdelkader is one of immense bravery, wisdom, and sacrifice. He fought not only for his land but for the values of justice, freedom, and dignity that still inspire people today. His legacy continues to echo across Algeria and the Arab world, reminding us of the strength of a leader who fought tirelessly for his people. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through history. We hope this story has inspired you as much as it has inspired generations before us. Remember, the lessons we learn from the past shape the future. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Legacy English for more historical stories and language learning content. We'd love to hear your thoughts and any suggestions for future topics in the comments below. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing. Goodbye. And 1, 2, 3, Viva Algeria.